everybody, welcome back to my channel, and this is the first episode of my new series. It's called Path of Nostalgia, where I review children's television, British children's television from yesteryear. And for the first episode we're going to start with Count Duckula, which was broadcast in 1989 and finished in 1993. So let's begin. So Count Duckula is a British animated television series done by Cosgrove Hall and was broadcast on ITV in 1989, of course. Now, first and foremost, this is quite interesting trivia. I didn't even know about this at the time. Well, I basically thought, I'll try and reclaim this now. I'll try and think about this now. It is a spin-off to Danger Mouse. It is basically a spin-off show to Danger Mouse that was released in 1981, and it's basically a spin-off to a sort of recurring villain that never popped up in a few episodes of Danger Mouse and actually got his own series. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things, really. Yeah, so anyway, Count Duckula. It stars the legendary Sir David Jason, who plays the voice of Count Duckula. You've got Brian Truman and Jimmy Hibbert providing some other voices to various characters, which they always do in Cosgrove Hall productions. With some brilliant animation, which is quite good. The theme tune itself is fantastic. Very funky, has a very sort of dancey, electronic funk beat to it, which is quite good. Story-wise, it is quite good actually, because it's quite inconsistent. Very much. I mean, you have a few interesting places. They do some interesting stuff, like travel around the different parts of the world, and uncover a few mysteries, of course. I mean, there's a few episodes where they travel to the Amazon jungle, go to the lost city of Atlantis, they go to Egypt, which was the first episode which they did. Go to America, New York City to be precise, or Hollywood, and it's quite interesting actually. And the reason, one of the interesting things about, with the travel episodes very much, they have this interesting kind of way how to get there, if you know what I mean. They travel to... No, how they travel... Yeah. So their form of transportation is the house, which is bizarre, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you look at the house, it is big. It's quite crooked as well. It's like more. It's a bit like Jenga, very much. Like it's swiveled up from the ground, and like the build on this it's like they built like a big house on top of a squirrely, like a windy tree or something, windy tree trunk or something. And obviously, how to travel there, they use this old German clock they have, and obviously, for anyone knows what German clocks do, when they're on time, and these little figures come out and create a meter over and then come back in. That's why it is. And once they set it off, it disappears like that and reappears in a different part of the world or somewhere. That's how they travel. And I thought that is quite interesting. I mean, no show has never really done that before, especially a British animated show. And it's filled with wonder. It's hilarious and funny. I mean, David Jason's Count Duckula is so different from what people have seen in Danger Mouse. I mean, the original take of Duckula was he was more thin and more lean, and he had a raspy voice, like a British raspy voice. Here, he's more animated, more angular in the way of design, and has an American accent, which David Jason has pulled off quite nicely. And I basically felt like it's quite good. It's interesting. It is. I mean, and the voice cast, of course, with Jimmy Hibbert and Brian Truman as well, supplied the voice of Ego and Nanny. Very, very good. Like you have Ego is more studious and more controlled, if you know what I mean. And with Duckula, he's more adventurous. He's interested. What he reads and what he wants to know. And all that sort of stuff. It is quite interesting. And you got Nanny, who's quite motherly, has motherly tendencies, also a bit of a klutz as well, and obviously has, sort of works for her left arm because her other arm's in a bandage mustache. She's got a few bandages over the course of the series very much, and yeah, indeed. So how did I come across Count Duckula? As this is going to be a recurring thing, like I'll talk about brief about the series and then talk about how did I get into these shows. So while I did watch Count Duckula as a kid, very much, I mean this is quite surprising, I never owned a VHS of Count Duckula whatsoever, or never seen it. In my mind, I might have seen a few VHS of cardboard sales or something like that, or maybe or maybe second-hand stores, electronic stores or something like that. These sell covered VHSs there, or charity shops and stuff like that. I never grasped onto Duckula probably until when I discovered it in 2012, pretty much, and that's quite saying something, but there's a reason why I saw it in 2012, a very specific reason why. So at that time, I thought Count Duckula was an American cartoon that was done by Hanna-Barbera. That was released by the Video Collection and sort of stuff. So I thought I sort of leave it. I mean, if you look at it, it's sort of like it has a Hanna-Barbera, or let's say Looney Tunes type of feel to it, like type of style to it, very much, and it sort of pulled me off for a while. However, looking at it now in a fresh light, and obviously seeing it like 5 years ago really, and just I just basically thought it is interesting. It's funny. It's hilarious. I see why people love it. People love it because it's nostalgia for them. For those kids who grew up in the late '80s and enjoyed it, I thought, yeah, I could see the potential why. It's funny. It's got David Jason in it. It's a British production. It's done by Cosgrove Hall, who's done many good TV shows at that time, which has been fantastic. And yeah. So, is there any favourite episodes of this TV show that I like? Well, what we got? We have No Sex Please Were Egyptian, which is the first episode, which I do enjoy. When they go to ancient Egypt, which is good. I forgot what the name of the episode is now, but it's an interesting episode. It's like a time paradox episode. Like Duckula goes back in time to one of his great ancestors who actually becomes the first vampire, if you know what I mean. Like, and he's trying to stop it. Like, he doesn't want to be a vampire anymore. He goes back in time where his first ancestor, one of his ancestors who becomes the first vampire of the clan, very much, and then tries to prevent it. However, he also intervenes as well. Like, he wants to continue the line of vampires, to respect the law, become a servant of a household, and obviously Duckula doesn't want to do that. So it doesn't want to happen. He wants to be like a normal person. Very much. He doesn't want to be affected by sunlight, drink people's blood and that sort of stuff. Well, it doesn't really drink people's blood. It's just that he has the strong vampire tendencies that you can't get rid of. So I thought that was interesting. Funny that it never happened again because Ego tricked him. Obviously, they switch bats, and he continues to be a vampire. And what was the other one? I forgot now. But those two stick in my mind very much. They do, and they're quite good to watch. So, Count Duckula. Is it worth a watch? This show definitely it is. If you're a fan of Danger Mouse, like I was, I used to watch Danger Mouse a lot of years ago because he used to be repeated on television back in my time. It's interesting actually because it's got the same people who worked on Danger Mouse, most of the same voice actors. You've got interesting art direction. You have a very fantastic intro, which is very good and funky and has sort of like a disco beat to it, which is good. And yeah, it's just great to watch, really. I so enjoy it. I think people who watched it when it was broadcast back in the day really enjoyed it. And yeah, for people who live on nostalgia and stuff like that, it's probably worth a watch, if you enjoy that sort of stuff as well. Like I do, I think a lot of people do as well. Yeah. So anyway, that's the first episode of Path of Nostalgia done. And that's my sort of opinions on Count Duckula. I will do the next episode, which will come next. Whenever it'll be, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. So anyway, thank you for watching the pilot episode, the first or pilot episode of Path of Nostalgia. I've been talking about Count Duckula, which was broadcast from 1989 to 1993 on ITV, and I will see you for the next video. See ya.